When your old shoes start to pinch you, you're becoming diabetic.
Welcome back to Disease Free Society, where we uncover one hidden truth about better health every week. We are on a mission to build disease free society, where we talk about the symptoms, rather the early symptoms that creep in before the actual disease walk into our lives. In our last episode, Dr. Sodhi helped us rethink about diabetes. We often believe that diabetes is all about sugar. To know more about Disease Free Society, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe Dr. Virender Sodhi. Welcome back, Dr. Sodhi.
You're welcome, Swabi.
So, Dr. Sodhi, in our previous episode, we came kind of on a conclusion that diabetes is not sugar, it is the metabolic failure of the body. And we discussed it at length there. So, today we are taking this conversation one step deeper. We are trying to understand diabetes one step earlier before it is diagnosed. Because body rarely wakes up suddenly with diabetes early morning. There are signs, those suddenly whispers, those silent baby steps that are already in our lives.
Yeah. You know, it's wonderfully said. So my professor back in India when I was a medical student used to say that when your old shoes start to pinch you, you're becoming diabetic.
Oh, okay.
So like, it's like we all wear the shoes, but when the old shoes, so basically what happens is the sugar crystallizes.
Okay.
When it's not properly utilized, not picked up by your cells properly, it has to store somewhere and will store in the gravity area. And what is your gravity area? Is your feet.
Oh.
It will crystallize in the capillaries and your capillaries now becoming more fragile. So now the shoe will start pinching you because you are not picking up the circulation properly. So yes, you're right. So there are lots of symptoms which will show up and it can be like fatigue. No matter what I do, my energy is not up. It's about I ate so much food, I'm still hungry. I'm going to bathroom many times. At night, I'm waking up 7 times at night.
Sleep is not proper.
Sleep is not proper. Sleep, very, very important because when you don't get a proper sleep, you are messing up your metabolic balance.
I think you are talking about our daily routine. We all go through these every single day and I think we ignore it.
Exactly. And I think with our this television and computers and cell phone and all those TikTok and everything which we do, all the time our heads are down. And if you look at this is very interesting too. Everybody's posture is becoming like this. They're hunching.
We are so glued to
Glued
this.
to the exactly, which is going to create more problem of its own. So when we are not getting the proper sleep, your cortisol goes up, and this cortisol basically is under control with the sun and the moon cycle.
Okay.
So one of my favorite saying is that can you change the sun and moon cycle?
No.
We can't change it. So what we have to do, we have to sync with the sun and moon cycle. So
your circadian rhythm and biorhythm
have to
coming
sync
together.
So you need to go to bed early, around 10 o'clock. That old saying, early to bed, early to rise makes a man, whatever that saying is.
Early to bed, early to rise makes man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Exactly. So and that's true, very, very true. So the thing is, when you don't go to the bed by 10 o'clock, you are pushing your cortisol. When you're pushing your cortisol high, your melatonin goes up for a pitch. Your melatonin is the sleep hormone. Now, when you don't have the proper...
Then you take medications for melatonin, artificial melatonin.
I will talk about that too. I will tell you the even medications. The studies show that even if you take a few pills of sleeping pill at night, you're cutting short your life 50%. So before you get diagnosed with diabetes, does your body send special signals? Yes, very often it does. And these signals are very subtle. People don't connect them to the disease of diabetes. Sometimes people feel tired, they're hungry again, and they have mental fog. These are not random complaints, these are early metabolic signals.
So I think you were talking about our daily life, what everybody in this world go through. Fatigue, sleepless nights, feeling hungry, feeling tired, not getting that energy. Are these the symptoms, or are these the metabolic changes that body is sending us?
These are metabolic signals, what I call them. The body is telling you that something is wrong with you and you need to pay attention. And in Ayurvedic medicine, we never talked about a disease, we talk about the syndromes.
Okay.
The small symptoms which will come before the disease will come. And so these
Because
are.
God has created us differently, in sync with the Mother Earth's rhythm that you always mention, but we, with our lifestyle, with things, we just mix
Ignore
it
it.
up.
We ignore it. We completely.
And when that is a mismatch, that is when these symptoms creep in.
Yeah. In Ayurvedic medicine, the disease is considered an imbalance.
Okay.
So there is a natural flow of energy in our body, which comes from our thought process, which comes from our food we eat, and the exercise, activity, stress reduction,
The
sleep.
Vata Pitta that you always mention about.
See, the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, they are the different energetics in our body. Vata is the movement factor; it moves everything around, and it's the signals, it's the transport. The Pitta is a metabolic form of it, where we are digesting the food, we are utilizing it properly, and it reaches to the proper place where it needs to go. And the Kapha is a structure which holds us. So these are, everybody has this Vata, Pitta,
We
and
need
Kapha.
to balance it as one.
Exactly, we need to balance
There
it.
has to be balance between these three so that there is no creeping in of these diseases.
Diabetes rarely starts with the high sugar. It starts with metabolic friction.
So, Dr. Sodhi, what are the early signs that everybody should watch out and maybe pause their life and think that something might be off?
Yeah. So one thing is, energy, fatigue. So what do we do when we feel fatigue? We push in coffee, we drink more tea, or we are eating sugar.
To just get that artificial energy and get going.
And no, we are not going where we're supposed to go. This is happening because body is struggling to regulate your blood sugar. And you can feel, you can be fatigued, you can have increased thirst, you can have a frequent urination, you're running to the bathroom many times. And also it can disturb your mental clarity. You have a more mental fog. So, don't ignore this symptom. There's something going on. You need to get checked. Yeah, and one interesting thing about diabetes is you gain weight around your circumference, around your waist. This is not the best way to put it. Actually, there is a simple test which is we can use it like your hip circumference to your waist circumference, and if there's a different ratio for it, it increases, then you're heading towards diabetes.
So what I find fascinating here is you are talking about everybody's routine life. It's like normal for us.
That's right. Yeah, no, it's no wonder India has become the number one diabetic country in the world. It used to be Mexico. And so basically I think our waistline has expanded. All of us have expanded our waistline. And we are pushing ourselves towards
And I think
diabetes.
it's all normal for us. Sir, I think what I feel another thing is people start their breakfast with high sugar things. I know diabetes is not the sugar part, but when we start our day, because there's you're not eaten for a good 7-8 hours, and then we start with cereal, which has added sugar. We start with cinnamon roll, we start with everything has sugar in it.
Exactly. Not only that, but basically we also have processed thing in it.
Yes.
Nutrition is stripped. We don't have fiber in it. And we have very little, the real nutrients in it, minerals in it, real vitamin in it.
The way the body needs to
it.
eat and perform well.
Exactly. So that diet with the most of the Asian Indian population, they were eating rotis, yes, they were eating rice, yes, but they were also working very hard in the field. So they were able to consume it and were not able to gain an inch on the waist.
So it's not sugar, it's the lifestyle
Right.
that has changed and these diseases have pitched in our lives.
No, I will say it's a part of sugar too, because especially the chocolate size back home was this big, isn't it?
I know.
You go to Trader Joe, there's this big chocolate. Okay, so does it mean give a kid a chocolate? What he's gonna do? He's gonna take this bite, or he's gonna eat the whole thing?
Whole one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all have weakness for sugar, so that's not good part of sugar. So in other words, that sugar can be contributing to it, And I think there is a calculation that an average American is using around 150 pounds of sugar a year. That means almost half pound sugar a day. We're starting with a lot of loads of carbs in the
We're
morning.
starting the day wrong, we are ending the day wrong,
Wrong.
and that is where then these diseases creep in.
Exactly. So the body does not jump into a disease, it slowly drifts into disease. As usual, anything you eat excessive or you do excessive, like exercise. Exercise is good, but excessive exercise can also damage you.
You rightly said, excess of everything is bad.
It's bad. So we need to do everything balanced. The basis of Ayurvedic medicine is balance. You sleep balance, you eat balance, you do activity in balance, and everything. When you create balance, body automatically learn how to stay in balance, and we are disease free. That's the whole
Any
motto.
example that any patient you might have seen in these many decades of your practice?
Oh, thousands,
I'm sure,
patients.
yeah.
So the one patient came to me and he said, God, every time I have my lunch and I am ready to take a nap. I said, okay, let me see what you eat. And what he's eating is eating bread, and he's eating dal, and he's eating, and they end up with some kind of sweet thing in the end. So majority of them was the carb. So interestingly, when you eat carb or sugar, body secrete insulin.
Okay.
The insulin, the purpose of insulin is to take that sugar molecule and deposit as a storage, because body doesn't want too much sugar circulating. So the sugar stores as a glycogen. The first store is your liver.
Okay.
But majority of people, we have a fatty liver. So we're not storing in the liver. And the second storage is your muscles. Muscles are selfish. They need to be exercised to store glycogen into the muscle. And the third form, easy form, is a fat. And the fat goes around your waist, around your buttocks, and other parts of the females in the breast area. You will deposit that
So
fat.
that's the biology behind
Exactly.
the diabetes that you are explaining.
Exactly.
Apart from the routine, there is a bio behind it.
Yeah, and when we checked out his numbers, he had high insulin and fasting. The fasting insulin should be 4 to 6. And interestingly, no doctor, except for the naturopathic doctors, check fasting insulin. And it should be between 4 to 6. So majority of people, when I see them, they will be around 20, 25, 30. So that is insulin resistance right there. And you have to cut it down.
They're already struggling with it when they come to you.
Exactly. So not only that, we're not doing anything to trigger, like right now, the very famous drug Ozempic, which is called GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide. So the glucagon is opposite of insulin, and they put a brake on insulin. So when you eat food which is rich in insulin promoting, which is your carb, which is your sugar, and if you don't eat food which is not proper stimulating your glucagon, you're going to have a problem. You have a disaster. So that's why they adding protein. The food which will help the glucagon-like peptide, which is GLP, like Ozempic. Your body makes your Ozempic naturally. There is a special line in your gut which is called L line, and that L line secrete this glucagon-like protein. And so when you eat protein, like eggs or even nuts and seeds, animal protein, fish protein, you make a surge of your glucagon-like protein. So these hormones will block the insulin activity. It will not let the insulin go all the way down. And that is the problem. So because now we have too much insulin and the body does not convert sugar into glycogen, so it becomes insensitive. More and more insulin has to be pumped in to use small amount of sugar. And you have a circulating insulin in your body.
Keep on playing with our bodies with all these artificial things.
But now the Ozempic has become the drug of choice.
The drug of choice for weight loss.
Exactly.
Because I think it's just stopping for you to eat it, and then people are not understanding the consequence of what it would do to their bodies.
Yeah. Well, we should do one of these podcasts on that one too. There are hundreds of natural ways which you can make your own Ozempic in the body.
Oh, nice. I think we should cover that. So someone could hardly say that I hardly eat sweets, but still their metabolism is under pressure.
So the metabolism is under a lot of stress because of the sleep patterns we have, lack of exercise, what you put in your mouth, how you think. Are you angry? You're frustrated? You're fearful? those emotions, when you're under fear, your cortisol goes up. When your cortisol goes up, sugar goes up. So you are not properly managing your storage of your sugar in your body.
So metabolism and lifestyle, they go hand in hand.
Hand in gloves, yes.
So sir, what I'm finding really fascinating here is we can detect these early signs because we know that they are there is some change, and we can still change them. Am I thinking it right?
Very true. Like, thanks to the technology, thanks to the latest blood test, we can use them. Like, I can predict that you're gonna get that 5 years later by looking at your triglycerides and insulin levels. So why not to use that technology to not to get to the disease?
Preventive measures right at the time you notice the symptoms you notice.
Exactly. A lot of time patients come to me and say, oh my God, I have high triglycerides and my doctor want to put on this medication.
It's not only cholesterol that is
Exactly. The triglycerides are more dangerous, by the way, than cholesterol. Cholesterol has made up story to make because there are drugs to lower the cholesterol, but triglycerides are more dangerous actually. So when I see that number, you are going to diabetes in 3 to 5 years. So you can watch it and then start changing from there. Tri means 3, glyc means sugar molecule. So 3 molecules of sugar making triglyceride. So basically you're not digesting your carbs and your sugar properly, and that's why.
I really like the way you break down the things and explain them beautifully. I think audience, it's a very easy way to remember things. To reiterate audience, awareness is really important. Know your body deeply. If there are smaller symptoms or signs, go and take help. So stabilizing your metabolism, like stabilizing your sleep, your snacking thing, or maybe your stress taking ability, daily movement, and your chronic stress. These slight changes in your daily routine stores the insulin balance in your body. So the goal isn't just avoiding the diagnosis, it's all about storing the balance in your body before that diagnosis appears.
Exactly, that is the foundation of prevention.
So one of the most powerful ideas from today's conversation is body speaks to you before these disease actually emerges. Fatigue, craving, eating sugar, these are not random inconveniences. These are the smaller metabolic signals. Those are asking for your attention. So if we listen early, story can be changed. Next week, we'll be continuing the series about some things equally misunderstood.
Because building a disease-free society starts with the learning to know what your body is saying to you.